30, believe it or not, but we are just a few weeks away from the primary, and there are some key deadlines and voting options you may not know about. Joining us now, Nora Duncan, the state's AARP director, with some details. Hi, Nora. Thanks for being with us.
Hi, thanks for having me.
All right, so I know the big goal here is to make sure voters of all ages are ready and able to vote. What has changed this year in terms of the voting process that folks need to know about?
Well, a new law passed this year that further expands eligibility for absentee voting, mainly to commuters, caretakers, and other voters worried about illness, and that includes the pandemic. So voters may qualify for an absentee ballot if they're traveling not only all of Election Day, which was the law before, but part of it, and they may not be able to get to the polls, or if they're concerned about sickness, like I said, including COVID-19, but for yourself and for someone they're taking care of. So this is a really great way for folks to be engaged in the process. And we still have some of our other great new options that took place in 2021 legislative session, allowing drop boxes and allowing voters with temporary disabilities or chronic illnesses to automatically receive absentee ballots.
Now that we know there are a number of ways for people to get out there and vote, what are some of the key deadlines that people need to keep in mind?
Okay, so you can start asking for your absentee ballot now, and distribution begins on the 19th. August 4th is the last day of mail-in voter registration. August 8th is the last day of in-person voter registration. And then August 9th is primary day, and it's the last day to submit your absentee ballot.
Right, and we'll also make sure to have this on our website, and I know it's on your website, so that if you missed it, we will make sure that you are informed. I also want to ask you before you go, in terms of the older population here in Connecticut, what do you think are the most important issues to them this year?
I think federally, we're really talking about some of the basics: Medicare, Social Security, reducing the high cost of prescription drugs are among the top concerns. And then, here in Connecticut, obviously, there's a lot we can do to reduce the cost of healthcare, including prescription drugs. But we also want to make sure that we're helping middle income and lower income retirees stay in Connecticut. So keeping their hard-earned money in their pockets and addressing issues related to, for instance, the healthcare workforce, the long-term services and supports workforce, and transportation costs and options. Being able to age in your home, in your community, that's all these things are a part of that. And it's extraordinarily important to age 50 plus voters.
And the bottom line is, it is just the primary, but people still need to get out there and vote.
Yeah, and aarp.org/CT votes. That's going to be all the information you need to know for the primary, what's on the constitutional amendment agenda, and for the elections in November.
All right, a lot of good and very important information. Nora Duncan, the Connecticut director of the AARP, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Erin.